Did you know you can actually make your own creative lens filters for under $10? In this video, I will let you know how I made my own unique lens filters to create looks like this. See, it even brought my beard back. Nah, well, this was shot before I shaved. But you can make in-camera effects, giving you more creative control during the shooting process. During this DIY project, I made two similar looking filters. One that gives me more natural color and another one that has a warmer tone to the abstract light rays. I will explain in more detail once we get to it. So let's get started. For this budget-friendly project, I'm using an Amazon basic camera lens filter, which I got for $8, obviously from Amazon. That is the cheapest one I could find, and I don't think there is much of a need to use an expensive filter for this DIY project, as we are about to mess the filter up anyway. Then you will also need small acrylic mosaic pieces. I found a pack that had transparent pieces and some pieces with a warmer tone to them. That is why I decided to make two lens filters and see how they look. In theory, you could also break a piece of glass into bits and use that, but unlike these acrylic pieces, the edges of the glass pieces will be sharp. Then you will also need transparent gel superglue to stick the acrylic pieces to the surface of the filter. Fiber cloth and air blower will also come in handy to clean any smudges or dust in the process. So, first thing I did was I attached the Amazon lens filter to the lens, and without the glue I started placing the acrylic pieces on the filter to see if they actually make an effect and a certain look to the footage. It was important to see where they should be placed to have areas in the footage unaffected as well. It was really exciting to see that this idea of adding objects to the filter comes true and that you can actually create an interesting effect like this. Once I have found the desired positions for both the wide shot and the zoomed in shot, it was time to remember the approximate position of the acrylic pieces and glue them on. The thing with the gel superglue I chose was that it stuck pretty much instantly. So once the piece of acrylic is placed on the filter, it stays there. I think that the effect turned out great. And since everything was already prepared, it was time to make the other filter with the warmer tone acrylic pieces as well. By the way, if you find this video helpful or inspiring, make sure to hit that like button. Much appreciated. Since the position of acrylic pieces were more or less known by now, I decided not to risk it and make the other filter without using the lens and camera underneath it. You know, it would be really unfortunate to drip superglue on the gear. Other than that, the steps remained the same. I made sure there was no dust on the filter and started to glue the acrylic pieces on the filter. And make sure that the filter is not upside down. So once you would put the filter on the lens, the side with the acrylic would be on the outside and wouldn't scratch your lens. Once all the pieces were glued, it was time to take a quick look and find out how these filters affect the footage. For this first test, I have some Christmas decorations in the studio with Christmas lights, and this is how the footage looks without a filter. And now let's attach the natural tone filter. You can already notice how it affects the footage. Some parts become blurry and some stay sharp. But what I find interesting are the light spills and the shapes created by the little Christmas lights. Once more without the filter, and now with the filter. Let me know in the comments what you think and if you plan to make your own creative filter. And here is a look with a warm tone filter. I would say that for this scene particularly, there is not much of a difference, but that's because the scene and the lights are warm as well. But the difference will be more noticeable in this other test I did. Here's the test footage without a filter, and now let's add the natural tone filter. Pretty cool, right? And there are multiple things that changes the look, like how the scene is lit, from what angles, and how much light reaches the sides of the lens. But the biggest changes can be made when there is a light source in the frame. And now some shots with the filter which has the warmer tone acrylic pieces. Not bad either, right? Especially knowing that it was pretty simple and inexpensive to make them. There's a link to the camera lens filters I used for this DIY project in the description. Just make sure that the filter size you pick is compatible with the lenses you're about to use. I personally enjoy experimenting with different ways I can create interesting looks in camera. And if you want to hear more about how lens filters can help you to achieve certain looks, then watch this video next. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao!